I'm Jana Herko, Book Collection Supervisor at Children's Literacy Initiative. As the seasons change, so does the weather, and it becomes the perfect time to introduce your children to a certain weather phenomenon through some great books. Here are a few of our favorites. In Thunder Boomer, what starts off as a warm, hot summer's day on the farm quickly changes with the approaching of an impending storm. And children will enjoy this book because it has a lot of onomatopoeia in it where they can make storm sound effects, as well as it gives them an opportunity to discuss some of the experiences they've had during thunderstorms. And quickly the storm passes and it's time to go back out to explore what's going on the farm. In the wordless text Rainstorm, children have the opportunity to make up their own story about what happens on a young boy on a rainy afternoon. One of the nice things that Barbara Lehman does is leaves clues in the pictures to kind of help you decide where the story's going. So for instance, the boy finds a key and he's trying to find out what it opens up. And he discovers that it opens up a trunk with a special secret ladder in it. And as he climbs the ladder and goes through the passageway, he soon finds himself in a lighthouse on a beautiful sunny island. And of course he soon makes friends, and children can enjoy making up what sorts of games they're playing together. But like all good things, his time on the island comes to an end and it's time for him to go back to his house, where he realizes he's sort of lonely and bored without his new friends. And I'm sure children will enjoy making up a story on how his friends came to visit him at his house. One Big Rain is the collection of poetry about different rainstorms. And one of the neat things that the author about this book does is she groups them together by seasons. So for instance, what rain is like during the winter, what it's like during the spring. And this is a great opportunity for you to have children to write their own poetry about what weather is like in their favorite season. Now, one of my favorite new weather books is Cloudette. And it's a story of a tiny cloud. And while being tiny sometimes has its advantages, such as having a great seat for the fireworks, or being able to squeeze and hide in tight places, Cloudette wishes she could do more. She wishes she can make a brook babble, or make a waterfall, or even make it snow. And one day while she's out, she notices a frog sitting in a dried pond, and she wonders, is there anything she could do to fix the situation? So she gets an idea. And she puffs herself up bigger and bigger and bigger, until suddenly she lets it pour. Children will enjoy this story of the small cloud who makes big things happen, just like the higher up clouds do. Now that your children are interested in clouds, it's the perfect time to introduce them to the science behind it. And in Let's Read and Find Out About Clouds, it's the perfect opportunity to do this. This book explains what different types of clouds are and where they're found in the atmosphere, as well as giving you some clues to kind of predict what the weather's going to be like based on the clouds, whether they're just atmospheric clouds or rains that create rain or even snow. Now, one of my favorite things about this book is in the back it gives you directions on how to make your own cloud using a jar, a balloon, a match, and a few other items. I know I'm going to try it later. While we're talking about nonfiction, it's the perfect time to talk about this book, Tornadoes by Seymour Simon. He uses this fantastic photography in this book to show you what actual tornadoes look like, as well as explaining some of the science behind how tornadoes are made and where they occur in the United States. And of course, no book about tornadoes is complete without pictures of destruction, so you can see how some of the tornadoes have destroyed different places in America. He also goes on to explain what the Fujita-Pearson scale is, so that children will understand what it means when a tornado is categorized as an F1 or an F5. In the end of the book, he also talks about how meteorologists are working to better predict these very dangerous storms. Now, from one extreme to another, we have Hottest, Coldest, Highest, Deepest by Steve Jenkins. And Steve takes us on a tour around the world of some extreme weather places. For instance, the hottest place in the world is in the Sahara Desert in Libya, where temperatures have reached over 136 degrees Fahrenheit. While the coldest place, of course, is in Antarctica, where temperatures have reached 129 degrees below zero. He also goes to show you some of the wettest places, as well as some of the driest places. Now, with all of Steve's books, he includes some great features, including little maps so children will know exactly where in the world they're talking about. Now that children are excited about different types of weather, it's time to explain how we have these types of weather, and How the Weather Works is a great book to do this. It explains not only what causes weather, but also where rain comes from, and why wind blows. Now you notice this is a pop-up book and it has a lot of great interactive features so children can pull tabs and lift flaps all day and spend lots of time learning more about the weather. We hope you've enjoyed these great fiction and nonfiction books about the weather, and hopefully your child will be inspired to become a budding meteorologist. If you would like to learn more about Children's Literacy Initiative, please visit us on the web at children'sliteracyinitiative.org and look for us on Facebook.